Board games, it's what we're talking about in some manner. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. I'm not a magician, I won't do a trick, but over there is my friend Dick Rensema, also known as DutchYoda. And I can't think of a word that rhymes with Yoda, but I'm going to carry on this song as we try to carry on. I'm going to try to teach DutchYoda what I can in some manner, and that is the vaguest plan. We'll try to help DutchYoda make board games. Board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. Hey! Good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. This is episode 311 of Busy Beats and Board Game Blether. Today I'm trying to mentor DutchYoda. Like I say, I'm trying to help Yoda make lovely games, like maybe a lovely suit drawing, which is the first game, but we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll take a step back. Maybe we will ponder something. It's basically whatever is most. We will have our regular feature where we talk about recent highlights, maybe a couple of quick questions, a brilliant thing. Then we'll get into it and we'll do whatever is most used to this person over here. And then after maybe an hour and a half, we'll have to finish up. I'm going to finish up slightly early today. I hope that's not a big problem. But then we'll recap and we will talk about what we're looking forward to. So that is what we're going to do. So, yep. Recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. What have you been up to, Yoda? And sorry, did it let you give an opportunity to say hello?
Hello. So that's over it. My recent highlight. Oh, I had so many highlights this week, actually. Well, if anybody puts exclamation Yoda in chat, they know at least one. Because, it was my birthday last Sunday. So, for me, it's just birthday one day. I didn't know that in the UK you have a whole week for it. So, that was awesome.
I mean, not generally, but it depends what people you hang out with. That's basically what determines it.
Then I'm hanging out with the right people. So I got a lot of gifts. I got more matched games to play. So, and I got a book for Red Rising, so I can read that as well. Hi, Xate.
Hello, Xate, and lovely to see you. It does Yoda, boom, Dutch, boom. I think DutchYoda also works. Yeah, DutchYoda, boom.
Well, she covered the basics.
Yeah, I didn't actually have your real name, but
then it will show up every time. Like, allow this word, yes or no?
Anyway. You were talking about recent highlights, and what have you been up to? And you'd mentioned before we started that you did get a few playtesters actually giving you some feedback, which is really good.
Yep, I got at the beginning there was mostly feedback about the rules because they weren't clear enough. So I changed those, and then I got feedback on my questions that I asked in the playtest. So how many people did you play with? Did you have issues with the rules? Well, yes, because they asked me beforehand. Which sheet did they use? Because I made 3 different sheets right now. So we have 3 different sheets. Which sequence did they use? Because I made 2 different sequences so they can compare everything. And what were the scores? Which did you like best? Did you have fun? Because that's very important for me. Did you have fun playing the game? And do you have other suggestions? And if this game does get published, do you want your name as a thank you note in the playtesting area if possible? So those were my questions. And I got a lot of feedback of people saying, yeah, it was fun. A lot of choices to make and different paths to take. So, well, that's always good to hear. And they are playtesting it further because they only sent it, an answer after they tried every sheet with just one sequence. So they want to try another one and maybe set up a deck themselves and play different sequences that way. So yeah, I got a lot of positive feedback right now. So I'm happy with that. And you're muted.
Sorry, I'd muted myself. Sorry about that. No, that sounds awesome. Congratulations. And
Yeah.
Sate says that she has also a small recent highlight. Which do you want to type it in, or Yoda, are you willing to share the screen with Xates if Xates wants to pop on?
Xate may pop on. I already know what it is, but
Yep. I mean, did Xate share in Loserpalooza last night?
Loserpalooza wasn't on last night. She shared it in
Why wasn't Loserpalooza on last night? I thought.
Yeah, they're not doing it every night anymore. So they skip the Friday, and IdleCon isn't on Tuesday.
Okay, so it's only 6 days a week.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
6.5 bit. 5.5 actually, because Dave is only on on his own on Tuesday.
Okay. Well, Xate says no. Xate isn't going to tell us, so we'll keep that mysterious. So if you're watching this after the fact, then you should have been here.
Yeah.
So if you're watching this on YouTube, then you will have to wait until a future time when Xate is willing to announce it. Oh, there is someone else here. There we go. Hello, Doru Kala Toru. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, what she said.
And there we go. Makes the lurkers comment. Yeah. Have like little. That's what we should do more often. It's like, well, I'm going to tell you secretly. I'm going to tell you secretly. And hey, if anyone else wants to know, then you've got to comment.
Yeah, but definitely.
Yeah, let's talk more about everything that's happened for you recently in a minute, Yoda, because that is a lot of. I am going to let you think about that for the questionably quick questions. So, yeah, let's get back to our recent highlights. What were my recent highlights? I recorded a couple of shows with a podcast called the 10 Minutes Board Game Design Chat, and it's actually lots of fun. I would say that the problem with when something is so short, especially if they have guests, especially if you say, hey, what are your links? And then you spend like 30 seconds or even 1 minute talking about this person who just came on. I mean, I'm glad that they talk about me when I came on for at least a minute, but it then means that there's only maybe 9 minutes of actual content. Like, so it's 90% content, 1 minute of, hey, here are all of Bez's links, and this is what. But it's definitely a high energy podcast. I've listened to it all. I enjoyed it. And if you want a quick thing, it seems to be aimed more at the beginning designer rather than someone who wants to get in depth. But if you're curious about just skimming the surface, check that out. 10-minute design challenge. That's a highlight for me. And also, of course, chatting with Semio Co-op, Rachel and Heinze, 2 other people from north of Holland, by which I mean one of the other 10.
They live in the east of Holland, in the Netherlands. Not in Holland. They live in Overijssel, in the east, in Enschede.
That's what I was saying. It's not in Holland. I was going to say they live in one of the other 10 states.
Yep.
If you had to let me get to my thing. Okay. Okay. And Sate says, what is it? Bez says, if at least 2 people type into the comments, then I will. Does that include me? I'm curious to see how you would describe it, Sate. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't count with me. Ah, well, that's fair enough.
Does it count for me? Then I'll open the stream.
No, it probably doesn't count for you either. But let's move on to the questionably quick questions. So we will start with the one that I always ask and then move on to anything that's asked in the chat. So I am in the UK, Glasgow, Scotland, 1st-story building. That is as much as I'm willing to tell you. It is 10:10 exactly. Where are you, DutchYoda, and what time is it?
I'm in Lelystad. It's in Flevoland, which is in the Netherlands. I live 6 meters below sea level on the ground floor, and it's 11:10 right now.
It's pretty cool. And hello, Frank Trice. It is lovely to see you, and thank you for joining us. If you have any questionably quick questions for our Netherlander friend, because I'm trying to reclaim the word Netherlander.
Yeah, but then I have to change my nickname as well. Then I have to be Netherlander Yoda.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to jump on board this, then I would be all for it. So I just think that exactly, isn't that a fun thing to say? Hey, Netherlander Yoda.
It's too long.
No, I'm all for this. So, Yoda, first question. Have you been waiting for a chance to use That's What She Said since you started streaming with me?
No, I haven't been waiting for it. I just took the opportunity when it was there.
Okay. Second question. Yoda, would you be in favor of us kind of changing the word Dutch and turning it into Netherlander? You can still keep your nickname. You can still be DutchYoda as a kind of, okay, this is what they used to be called. But if we actually changed the word Dutch into
okay. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It's your language, not mine.
And Frank Trey says, if you never land a Yoda, then Star Wars is going to be a very different film.
True.
So, next question. Why is Yoda your favorite character?
Why?
I mean, I like the fact that there's this little person and you kind of might overlook them. They don't look that imposing. They don't look that meaty, but whoa. It's like kind of the old trope of appearances can be deceiving.
Yeah.
Does that tie into it at all?
Well, that's true, because that's the whole idea of the character in the beginning. They made him also the wise old guy of the show, of course, mostly during the prequels. Then he's the wise old guy. And during the first runs, he's the one that's like, oh, he's just small. How can he teach me? And apparently he's very wise and very strong with the Force. So yeah, I liked that about him, and of course his grammar. Just
so, like it, you do.
Like it, I do.
Your favorite game on Board Game Arena? What is it?
Colt Express.
Colt Express it is.
Yes, Colt Express it is.
Why Colt Express it is?
Programming games I like. Keeping this up, I cannot.
Did you choose the name DutchYoda before The Mandalorian came out? Or did the concept of Baby Yoda have any impact on your views of your name? Frank Trice asks.
Called DutchYoda for 25 years, maybe longer. So yeah, way before The Mandalorian, even before the prequels. So yeah, and Baby Yoda is not Baby Yoda anymore, it's Grogu. So it's not the same person.
Baby Yoda, original trilogy Yoda, or prequel Yoda, do you prefer?
I do prefer original trilogy Yoda, but the one scene that Yoda takes on Count Dooku for the first time. So this is the first time anybody saw Yoda fight. Yeah, that was awesome, even though it was like 15 seconds. It was awesome.
I mean, Yoda doesn't actually change that much between the two films, and I think that's
he doesn't have an arc.
Yeah, it's like Yoda. Is it ever revealed how old Yoda is? Like, I mean, it just seems like
during the prequel, he was in the 800s, and he died around 900 something in the trilogy, in the original.
Oh wait, Yoda actually died at some point.
Well, yeah, during Return of the Sith.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi, mixed title. Return of the Jedi. Then he dies when Luke got back to Dagobah. And
then there's the 3 people staring at Luke. Spoiler alert, by the way. Sorry.
For a movie that's all 40 years old.
Yeah, Dorikal Toru was thinking of that. Yeah. Our Dutch designer Yoda fights exactly like that film clip suggests, Sate.
So fight for only 15 seconds, but very intense. Okay, cool.
You can also put some space in between them if you want. But yeah, those were some good, questionably quick questions. If you've got any other questions, you can chuck them in during the show. It's all good. But let's us move on to a brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? You know, I mean, it would be interesting if there was some sort of online platform for playing board games, like some sort of arena. But then I just couldn't think of anything like that. So I just
do we know somebody who works over there?
No, I mean, like, if only I could think of it. But you know, if someone were to give some sort of recent highlight, that might.
I've heard of Tabletopia.
In all seriousness, boardspace.net. I do like boardspace.net, but I do like the. Were you doing that before I said that? Yes, I was actually doing that before you typed in Board Game Arena. I was bringing that up. So, yeah.
Oh, we missed stretching time.
Stretchy time. So, yep. Let me do a quick stretch. So, what is brilliant? Let's talk about. Sure, I feel like I already talked about Board Game Arena when Ian Paravel was on. So I'm going to talk about Henry Kuttner. Have you heard of Henry Kuttner?
No, I haven't.
Sci-fi author, Henry Kuttner. This is a book.
Hey, that's C-3PO and Obi-Wan.
This cover probably tells you what you need to know about it. And it's kind of very bizarre, very strange. It's got all sorts of short stories in there, which are going to spark your imagination, get your creative juices flowing. I love Henry Kuttner. And so, yeah, that is that.
I just finished The Witcher, and I'm planning to start the Red Rising book that I got for my birthday.
Nice. And... I mean, publicly, I have no idea who the community manager for Board Game Arena is. I mean,
it's as not far like as it's public information.
Yeah, it's definitely not public information yet, as far as I'm aware. But apparently, she's pretty great. Oh, whoa, this is intriguing. But yeah, I think that people are probably able to work out what's going on. There's some pretty strong hints dropped.
Very subtle.
Very, very subtle, yep. Okay, so that is the brilliant things. No, but I'm really happy for everyone who's had some recent highlights. So let's get onto the main bit, which is talking about DutchYoda and trying to talk through what what you've been up to the last week, and I'm just going to try and talk back and forth and help you as much as I can. So if you want to know a bit more about DutchYoda, well, it's Dick Rensema. You've got a teenager.
Yeah, he's upstairs somewhere.
Doing some sorts of English and experiments recently.
Yep.
You've been a web developer. Is that fun?
Well, not the past few weeks.
Oh.
It's not my favorite project to work on right now. I have to work on some websites for the European Union, and there's a lot of red tape, and that slows everything
Bureaucracy.
down. And that's not fun. I want to create something, not have to ask billions of questions, answer billions of questions, and then make something and said, but that's not what I meant, even though all the documentation shows that's exactly what I should have done.
And apparently it was chess with your colleagues that brought you back into modern tabletop games, because you played chess and then you started exploring more modern games.
Yeah.
You are super into Portal and Ignacy Shevchik's.
There's now 6. There were 5, so now there are 6 spaces all of Portal. And even though some are still missing because Detective Season 1 is over there and My Happy Farm is over there.
That's an interesting one. My Happy Farm. Isn't it just Happy Farm? I don't think it's
it's My Happy Farm.
Is it? Let me see your copy, because I'm sure that I've got that game and I'm sure it just says Happy Farm. But I got it in London, so it's a bit too far for me to go. And Frank, I assume you used to be a programmer? What happened there? But yeah, Dick or DutchYoda does do stuff for budget spelling.
It says My Happy Farm.
Interesting. Is that a different version? Like, are there multiple languages of rules in there? I wonder if the English version was changed slightly.
Well, this one is English. So.
But my version is the one that's only English rules and nothing else. Maybe I'm completely mixing this up. It's possible that I'm forgetting the title.
Yeah, maybe there's another game that's called Happy Farm as well.
No. It's definitely it's definitely that game by Portal. Yeah. I promise you.
It's a fun little economic game, easy to do with children, but it can be mean if you're only playing with adults.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of chaos because of and we very much felt like it doesn't quite it might be interesting to do a review of that together sometime once. Maybe we could do that at some point in the future. Both play it, make sure we've played it, so we've got a recent memory of it, and then do a review, both of us together. What do you think of that? Cool.
Sure.
Anyway, so Frank tries. Oh, that's Frank from City of Games. Oh, hello, Frank. I did not realize that was you. Hello, Frank. And no apologies needed. So yes, Frank used to do 15 years of software development before doing board games. So yeah, there we go.
So I'm doing it for 15 years right now as well, so I could make the switch.
But anyway, what we are trying to do is to have some sort of mentorship, and if anyone else has any advice along the way for Yoda, then please let us know. Please Sates apparently knew that it was that Frank. Totally not fangirling about I Love Cat Cider. There we go. So, yeah. Where should we start? Unless you have another place to start, shall we talk about your playtesting and how that's gone and drill a little bit more into that?
For playtesting, I created different sheets. So this is the basic sheet we always use. So that's sheet letter A. And then I made one with a different connection track. So That's sheet number B, but I kept the twin tracks the same, and this one I changed the twin tracks and kept this one the same, just to see how people would react to the changes. Didn't want to change both, because that would be a little bit too much to playtest. But yeah, and then I asked people through Twitter, some Discord channels, who wants to playtest my design, and I got some responses back. And a few people got around to playtest it this week, so I got some responses this week. The first was, I assumed this for the rules. I assumed this. What did you mean? Did I play it correctly? So, well, that's the first result of a blind playtest, that the rules needed to be updated. So I did that. I told everybody who was already playtesting that I updated the file with the new rules. And then I got some more feedback from the same person about what they did and how they felt about it. Did they like it? That sort of information. All the questions that I asked, they answered.
Just to catch up anyone so that everyone's roughly on the same page, just to spend 1 quick minute. This is the game. You're basically taking 2 cards at a time. You use one of them. The other one you can store in one of these little squares. And if you've got 2 clubs and a heart, you're able to draw a line which connects the filled circle with another circle. And if you've got one of every suit except for hearts, then you get to fill in a circle. And each round, you multiply how many filled circles you have with how many check marks you've got. And check marks you get by collecting 2 of a suit on your again, those things are either collected with the one of the 2 that you pick during it, or the one of the 2 that you are able to store, and you might be able to retrieve it by later drawing a line.
Yep.
And this is the version that we played together last week.
Yep.
This worked really nicely. This is a version that I'm seeing here where you start off, whoa, there's 3 suits that you're able to store. And then I would probably be going down, and then you get a joker, which allows you to store anything you want. And that storage and retrieval is definitely interesting. And then the final version,
I updated the twin tracks, so the one above.
Okay.
Now we have a heart and a club when you get spades or diamonds, and spades is fully focused on drawing lines, and diamonds is fully focused on filling in circles. And with clubs, you can get a joker, which means you get a suit of your own choice.
It's really nice. I mean, there's definitely, when I played it, there's definitely been a lot of interesting decisions for sure. The fact that it is completely abstract definitely makes it harder to sell. It makes it harder to draw in an audience for sure. Have you given any thoughts about what possible themes it could be?
Not yet, to be honest. I want to think about a nature theme, because there are already so many
so many
city building, engine building, trading kind of real world things with humans, and I want to try to keep the humans out of it, make it more nature. But I haven't found a theme that works yet.
That is totally fair. And hello, Alex. It's lovely to see you. And
hello.
Just talking about the playtest, so what do you think are the next steps? What do you think you would be?
I hope to get more information, more feedback, because currently it was only 2 people, so it wasn't that much yet. So I'm hoping to get more feedback in the upcoming weeks, so I can tweak it a little bit, maybe see what sheet people prefer. And then maybe paste a theme on it. Think about a theme and make it more real, and creating custom cards to go with that theme.
I mean, with the theme, you can paste it on, and you can just accept that there's going to be some abstractions and it's not going to work 100%. But at the same time, you could maybe think about integrating the theme a little bit more. Like if you bring it in earlier, then you can definitely think about, okay, what changes do I need to make the theme make sense? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it feels like one thing that I wanted to say, and Alex, I don't know if you could actually help, because I don't know if it was on WordPress or what was going on with that website, but just the being able to click and then it reveals, I think that is definitely a different experience to reading it off a list. Because if you're going to see what cards you can draw, and it's a really nice idea to allow many people to play with the same series of cards to compare the scores.
Yeah.
And I would almost suggest saying, okay, use this track for the first time that you play this version of the game. Use this other track for the first time you play this version of the game, so you can keep that as a control, so you know everyone's playing it, like each different map is going to be played the same way, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
But with Alex's version, where it was, okay, click and then it reveals, and then click and then it reveals, even though your version, it allows you to not need the internet to be running in this day and age, I wonder if that is actually just a stronger experience, because then it's like, oh, I can click and I can play you keep the sense of surprises, which is a really interesting way to do it.
True. That's true.
Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. What trying and hello Rob, a theme that is pasted on now can become naturally more integrated later without much effort, as the theme influences the decisions you make along the way. And
that's true.
I like to sing Frank. Inno your face, DX cat. Frank is trying. Inno your face, DX cats. I don't know what inno your face, DX cats. I don't know what that means.
That's probably some Twitch emote, I guess.
Maybe it's an emote that I'm not able to see on StreamYard. Okay. Would you like me to put some games on my site, Dutch? Asks Alex.
Yeah, sure. Saves me the work.
I mean, that sounds like a very nice offer. And you know what? Alex's website could totally be a hub of, here are some asynchronous games that Frank is trying. I believe that describes him more accurately than anything else has before. Wow. But yeah, with Alex's website, I could imagine that being like, yeah, we'll play some roll and writes, and then everyone's just playing them, and it's really being separate together. And maybe even at the very end, you say, okay, this is other people's high scores, and you get to compare it. And although you do, for testing purposes, you probably don't want people to think, oh, I didn't get as much as the average. You don't want to incentivize people to start, being too self-conscious about their scores. You want to see the genuine thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's really hard because when it's remote, self-reporting is so difficult. Because if someone says, oh, this is, let's say I stop doing this, is that because I'm frustrated, because it's too difficult for me, because I'm just not enjoying the game? But what do you think would be what do you think would make this game to the next step? What do you think is missing?
Currently, I think theme is the biggest thing that's missing right now. So it's easily accessible. Everybody can play it. Everybody that has a deck of cards at home can play it. But I want to put a theme on it and make it more logical with that theme. So yeah, and that means that the cards will become custom because they will apply to the theme, of course. Just like I did in the very, very first draft when all the suits meant a certain type of profession.
Hmm. You can, I mean, especially if you're doing what Alex suggests and putting it on that website,
Yeah.
you no longer have to worry about the hearts, and you can take that part entirely out of the rules, which is nice, because as the game stands, just to explain to people, the number of hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs in the deck is not equal. You do have more of one, fewer of one, and a medium amount of two others. And I really like the look of this one, where you have differentiated the spades and the diamonds a bit more. I wonder, yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't just call them whatever you want and play around with the proportions, especially if it's going to be on a sheet like Alex's. And the advantage of doing that is that you can actually get the mathematical proportions that you want to represent. Just try it, see if it works, and forget about the setup difficulty.
Yep.
I would say that, yeah, if you've got, what do you see as an obstacle to integrating a theme here?
The obstacle that I find is that I want to make it fit the theme perfectly. That's my personal thing. If something doesn't make sense in the theme, it disconnects me from the game, and the game will become more abstract for me. That's what I notice when I'm playing a game. When a theme doesn't make any sense to me with it, and then it's like, okay, I have to have that many yellow, that many red, and it's not a theme anymore. I'm just looking at the colors, objects, shapes. That's it. And I don't want that to happen for my game. It must feel a little bit more. Yeah, it must fit together. And that's the hardest part. That's why I didn't come up with a theme, because I think nature would work, but not sure how it would work yet. I have a couple of the ideas, and not there yet.
So it's working out what these things represent. I mean, fruit harvests seem... I mean, shall we have a bit of a brainstorm? That seems like a useful potential thing where...
Yeah, sure.
And Alex mentions, I haven't really been pushing my game out to testers, so I don't think many people have actually used my sample game so far. But maybe it's useful to have if you want to test over voice chat. And it could be voice chats, it could be anything, and you can also organize... Yeah, you could even... That's a fair point. It doesn't need to be asynchronous. It could be a tool to facilitate synchronous playtesting, and it wouldn't be necessarily blind. You can explain the game, and maybe at this point, why not? You've got your own stream, you've got your own audience. Why not start a weekly or fortnightly thing where you do something on your own stream? And
that's the idea. I already have plans for this weekend, but I was planning to do my own game next weekend. So.
I mean, it could, whatever works for you life-wise, obviously. I understand that you've got another life around. So let's look at...
Sadly, I do.
Let's look at this map. So what's going on here is that your the spreading of marks around a network could be the spread of mycelium or fungus, mushrooms, that kind of thing, suggests Rob.
That sounds like something.
You're storing things. Each turn you get 2 options. Some of them are, this is a PDF. I can't draw on this one sadly, but in those little squares you store things which can then come back into your collection, as I'm going to call it. And then you use your collection to either progress up the twin tracks. What does that even mean? That's a strange thematic thing.
I named it the twin tracks because you need 2 of something.
That makes a lot of sense, for sure. And then you've got some of these things in your collection that you can use to draw lines, which allows you to reap your previously stored things, or you've got one of each, which allows you to create this scoring element. What are these scoring elements? How do we make sense of the twin tracks? How do we make sense of the putting a thing in and then getting it later? I mean, for me, that putting in a thing and getting it later makes me think of a fruit harvest, something like that. I don't know. That was why I suggested nature last time.
Yeah, or a squirrel that's gathering nuts.
Could be.
Nuts for the winter or something.
The latest rules and components list, it is on my Discord. So Discord, there we go. So I have my own channel over there. Check that Discord, check the DutchYoda channel, and there will anyway, sorry, had a weird error. But this is the thing that you will get, and it tells you how to play over here. So in a sense, you don't really need this. It should be kind of more focused on, check out this other thing. Yeah, that's what I say in the introduction. There is a setup, but you can skip that part. So, twins, what theme makes sense of needing 2 of a thing? Is it? I mean, reproduction comes to my mind. That's the first thing, of course. And I mean, would that work with some sorts of animal colony, like aliens trying to colonize Earth, or trying to colonize some other planets? I don't know. I'm not sure. The nice thing about aliens is that you can do anything with them. Because if something doesn't quite make sense, well, it's aliens. Same with magic. Oh, it's wizards. A wizard did it. That's the... Okay, so... It could be woodland creatures that you have. If you have 2 of each, if you have a check mark, then they may reproduce or something like that. Or they found a home. I'm not sure. They found each other. That's also a thing. That doesn't make sense when you have 2 of something and you get 1 totally different creature. That doesn't make sense then. Mating the card game. Someone has to make it eventually. I'm sure that it's magic alien squirrels. So, I'm kind of struggling. That seems like a cop-out. Magic alien squirrels. I also thought of Noah's Ark. Magic alien. I thought mating would be a cheeky chess variant. Magic alien squirrels farming. There's a chess variant when you can put 2 of different pieces together and then you control them both. Squirrels are never a cop-out, says Rob. No, not just squirrels, but magic alien squirrels. It's like they're squirrels. They're magical, so they can do everything. But we make them alien just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. So now they can do everything we want to do. Yeah. It sounds like it could be focused around evolution, as that can bring in the concept of 2 identical things producing something different. I can definitely see that. like, although if you've got these, you are only getting 4 types of animals, or whatever they are, whether they're animals or whether they're creatures or whether they are, I don't know, it could be parts of your life that you're enjoying, like money, knowledge, connections, and love. I mean, love is kind of connections as well, but
magic, zombie, ninja, alien, squirrels. Okay,
but they
and
have
they're
to
being
be
pirates. Yeah.
Yeah,
this.
I don't want to make this a pornographic stream.
I made a joke once that somebody should make a game about zombie Vikings. No, Vikings trading zombies in the Mediterranean. Because there were a lot of Viking games, zombie games, and trading in the Mediterranean games at that point.
But you know what Frank has just said about evolution? It does make me think, what if it was about building robots? And I'm just looking at this. This kind of looks a little bit like a robot. I don't know. Like it kind of looks a bit grid-like, and although that doesn't really make sense of the harvesting and making it later. But maybe you're making a robot's army. Why not? Yeah, you're making a robot's army to take over the moon.
Strongest robot army. And in the twin tracks, you're gaining weapons, and in the connection track, you're gaining robots. So robots times weapons. If you don't have weapons, the robots are useless. So you have to combine them. So that's why you multiply it if you have both.
That could actually totally work.
Yeah, because 2 robots with 1 gun shoot the same like 2 guns and 1 robot. Well, almost the same.
Yeah, it's how many laser robots wielding lasers. Maybe that's what it's at. But this is a very hyper-violence game now. Alex,
skip nature.
Mentions an octopus.
I love Horizon Zero Dawn, Frank. I love the game. I haven't finished it yet because I keep on dying in the game. I'm so bad at it, but I love the whole concept of the robot creatures. It's just awesome.
Whoops. I mute myself when I'm drinking, and then takes me a bit of time to... So, yeah, having some sort of evolution, but with robots, animals, and nature, it could potentially work. What do you think?
Work would be original. So that's one thing.
Have you played that game? I've seen this game on Board Game Arena. Q-Birds, I want to say. Q-Birds.
There are games on Board Game Arena?
Let me... Yeah, Q-Birds. So, just looking at this, and, for no particular reason, all the birds are... I would say they're made out of cubes, except they're clearly not. These are not made out of cubes. They're made out of...
rectangular shapes, yeah.
They're made out of cuboids, except for the toucan, who has a kind of... truncated cuboid.
Yeah, that should be more of a straight line, more triangular.
But anyway, there's a lot of cuboids in these Q-Birds. But I don't know, once you have this, okay, it's vaguely about birds, but there's suddenly, okay, they're cubes. If it was, okay, it's about animals, but they're robots, then you can make lots of excuses. Frankly, Frank, come on. What was that? I love cats, and I love that pun. I really, really adore that pun. I love cats. But anyway, there's a lot of abstractions made in that game, but you can sort of overlook it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because how does a cat fit to the walls in different rooms? I don't know how a cat does that, but they're magical cats.
Well, there are special island cats. Anyway, that's the point. Once he sets it in a remote place, And hello, legends. It is lovely to see you. Thanks
Hey,
for
legends.
jumping in. And yeah, anyway, totally not
Yeah.
biased at all.
No.
I'm going to have to watch out for you now. A robot firing 2 guns is cooler than 2 robots firing 1 gun each.
Yeah, but the latter one is more funny to watch. They're just struggling on the gun, and meanwhile, it's firing. So the aim isn't that great, but it's more funny to watch.
I mean, Frank, what do you say to that? Rob says the pun was wasted by calling the game The Isle of Cats.
It's a typo. It's I love cats.
Anyway. So, yeah, what are you thinking? How reluctant are you to just say, hey, we're going to make a robot version of this or magic version? Because you can start there.
I'm
and
not
make
reluctant with that, of course. Magic gives you more options because, yeah, not everything is predefined when you use magic or alien technology. So, yeah, there's possibilities. It could be 4 different alien types trying to live in harmony somewhere in space.
And DutchYoda, apparently it's all about the space it'll need on the journey rather than the space it takes up normally. So yeah, it's going to be a crammed journey, is all I'm going to say. It still feels a bit inhumane.
And
in some ways.
my boats are always filled so full that the boat will sink. So
Yeah.
but I got the most points.
Anyway, let's get back to your game. What can we think of a theme? So, if any, if anyone has any thoughts on this, so you collect things. If you've got a group of things, you draw a line. The line allows you to connect to another thing.
Yeah, to explore further, to go a step to the next step.
What if it's an exploration game? What if this is a mini exploration game?
Well, it could work. And you find friends along the way.
Oh, I love it! You're finding friends, and you're finding. So, are the circles the friends, and the ticks are like the kind words?
The squares are the friends that you find on the way, and the circle is the meeting you have together, like having a tea party or something like that.
But so ultimately, the key parts of the game, like the key parts of it, which everyone is going to remember, is that X is multiplied by Y. As represented here, ticks are multiplied by circles. Yep. So I'm thinking, what if the circles are parties, like tea parties, let's say, and then the ticks are people?
That sounds like an idea.
I mean, you could be gathering different resources on a desert island, or real victory points for the friends we made along the way. Exactly.
True.
And yeah, because you want to have as many people as you can and all the parties and...
Yeah. And I can make a big giant sheet where everything is just 6 feet apart from each other because it's the COVID edition.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's sad times. Oh, we live... Oh, why did you have to... Oh, I hate the blooming world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss people too.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
man.
I will see some later this afternoon when I drive my my son back to his mother. Then I'll see people. That's about it for today.
So, Yoda, we've been at it for, and the different resources you get are potentially bring your own bottle, or people who come to the party because there's booze there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's up to you. It could be tea cakes, it could be little cupcakes, it could be, party favors. What do you think?
Yeah. I like this idea of gathering people and having parties.
Okay, pizza.
Pizza, like in Fort, when you have pizza and toys.
Yeah, like if you've got two pizzas, maybe heart is. So.
Well, I can instead of a check mark, I can put different kind of people in there that love pizza. So if you have enough pizza, there will be more people, pizza loving people there, like turtles.
Yeah.
No, I want some pizza. Yeah, I want pizza too, and it's not even noon yet.
Yeah, I want
something,
but I've not had breakfast yet.
Yeah, I do like the gathering people and having a party idea. I think that's the one we should go for.
Okay. Let me quickly stretch around. So this feels like we've done something good. Like we've established that it's going to be some sort of tea party, making friends and gathering them into parties. I'm liking this. Okay, so you're like, the most important thing isn't me. I should try to divorce my own ego from it. So I do apologize for that. But yeah, I guess you sound excited by it. Other people are excited by it. Like people are saying, hey, Rob and Alex and
we have pizza, we have drinks, we have music, and
music, of course.
We need a fourth.
Games,
of course, games.
Like Alex said.
Yeah. Then I only have to determine
food,
which is which.
Drink, music, and games.
Yeah, just make it food, not just pure pizza. Just make it food. That's more generic, but that works. Food, drinks.
Who would have thought of games, indeed?
Music.
And Rob suggests if there are games, one of them could be Cards Against Humanity, and some guests really love it. Some just leave, and some people join in but die a little inside.
I own the game. I own it. Because they played a lot at the office, and I determine what goes in the office game library. And people wanted to play Cards Against Humanity. Only they wanted me to do the US version because they heard it was better, but they didn't get a lot of the US references, so that didn't help.
And I'm just going to publicly say, Sate, you can pick a week. You can pick whatever week you want to be your board game arena celebration week, and I will set something for you. But afterwards, yeah.
Well, we can make a COVID version, then we do webcams, microphones, online games, and we think of a fourth. Streaming.
Internet connection. So you've got to have a good internet connection. Are you taking notes of these somewhere, Yoda?
Yep. I wrote them on my sheet, but it could be. I already named it Party People.
The week starting April the 3rd. What's happening then? Sure. Whatever. I will make a note to remind myself. Cancel. But yeah, what needs an analog? How can we help you, DutchYoda?
Well, I'm going to retheme this. I'm not sure when because I have a busy weekend. Probably Monday or Tuesday. But if people want to playtest what's on right now, that would be awesome. I can use every feedback I get because I created the different tracks because the feedback I got from Ravensburger. because they said, well, we want more variety in sheets and that sort of thing. So I was thinking about that. An idea could be that we separate
Are you
the
thinking of the Imperial Settlers roll and write system of
the same
Pathfinder?
idea. I was thinking about having the twin tracks and the connection tracks separated, and you can mix and match whichever you want to play with. So you definitely have different games every time.
And Xate, it's in my diary. So, but if you can remind me the evening before on Facebook or the day before on Facebook, that would be very much appreciated. But yeah, sorry, Dutch, I don't mean to bring it away from you.
No
So
problem.
we've got so we've got, if you wanted to vary it up, that feels like something that could be done later on for sure. You could have, bring it back to Yoda. Good show.
Yay. Well, today's my last day of my birthday week, so it's almost over. Then you have to change it.
I am going to take it off because, it wouldn't make sense.
You cannot
to
take
have
it
this
off
all the time.
and leave it on?
No, for contractual reasons, Xate doesn't want to be on just yet. But, if someone else has a birthday week, we can celebrate their birthday week another time. Anyway. So, yeah, what was I talking about? I completely...
separating the twin tracks and connection tracks in different sheets. So you can mix and match.
Yeah, it feels like you can have stuff already in the squares. You could have definitely harvesting more stuff. Now you've got the system of, okay, you draw certain things into these squares, and once you've drawn them in these squares, then once you draw the line using... Oh, why did that go away? Why did my... can you see my mouse?
I can see it.
Oh, it disappears when I go, okay, I see what's happening. So, yeah, once you've got the correct things, it feels like, this whole system of filling in these squares and pulling it out, you could explore that a little bit more, have some pre-filled ones. Maybe some of them aren't so useful. Maybe if there's one suit that's a bit less useful, you get a bonanza of it later on. Maybe later on you get 4 in one. So you're actually, by making sure that you have these particular resources, you get to convert them into 4 other resources. But maybe those other resources aren't quite as good. So you have to think about what you've got on this particular sheet and how to... It feels like pre-filling it is definitely going to be a relatively easy thing to think of a lot of different variations for.
True.
And got... I really approve of the theme of the game being that you're trying to make everyone have the best possible time. So it's a utilitarian form of happiness. This game is all about maximizing happiness. So, how good a party, you get stuff, you get this pizza, blah, 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 and that gives you people, and in the people separately, what are the circles? Are the circles venues? Or...
We could do that. We could do a venue or the party itself. When you are there, you just need to do a little bit extra, and then the party can get started.
I don't understand where this comes from. Every friend you make makes you a year older. But what is drawing a line? What is filling in a circle?
Drawing the line is going from one place to another, passing shops and everything. And so you buy the last bits you forgot when you the 5-minute purchases. Like, oh, we need a little bit more of that, a little bit more of that. But then, why would you draw a line if you have two clubs and a heart, for example? The
Yeah,
reason to
whatever that
draw a
is. I
line.
mean, what allows you to draw a line? Maybe if you're moving, then my first thought is money, but saying money gives you people, even though it might be kind of true, it's not.
Not the message I want to bring.
Yeah, that's not nice. Oh,
I'm thinking
so
that
does
the
food?
clubs could be food and the hearts could be drinks, for example. And I have food, I have drinks. Shall I come over? And then you go to the next spot and have a party over there. Something like that.
Yeah, these could be. I mean, venues make sense. Dates in the calendar also potentially make sense, but yeah, maybe it's a. I don't know if this is the. If you want to make it a slightly more adult theme, by which I mean think about pub crawl.
Could be.
But then a pub crawl is anything with alcohol is going explicit references to alcohol. You are narrowing your audience for potentially no good reason.
Yeah, true.
So
Traveling through Amsterdam, pub crawl, red light districts, that sort of stuff.
yeah, Amsterdam.
If you go adult, just make it go all in. Were you here when we discussed that abstract games don't sell? Well, they have a narrower or audience. Say, did you miss that part of the discussion? Were you thinking about BGA too much?
But so do games about alcohol. Yep, that is true. Like, if you want it to be more mass market, like not even mass market, this isn't going to be a mass market game. But if you want it to have, if you want it to be an easier sell, then making it a friendly theme is going to be really nice. Party
Yeah, you
edgelords.
can make it a child version, so you have children things that you have to bring to the party. Then you have a teenage version, then an adult version, and maybe even an after dark version.
Honestly, I don't know if you're being serious, but having multiple versions of the one game, unless you've already sold like at least 10,000,
No. Yeah.
it's just narrowing your own market, making it harder
True.
to sell.
Yep.
Alex suggests maybe it's going for a walk through a park, and it's all about, okay, these are nice little spots for picnics, and you're finding little places. Or maybe it's attractions at the amusement park. Oh, that could be it. Maybe you're making an amusement park, and the circles are different attractions that you've got, and then the ticks are the people that you're bringing to the amusement park, and you want to have the happiest amusement park. Call it My Happy Amusement Park.
Well, I'm not sure about the name. But
Yeah, I
all
was
the
being
other
slightly silly with that.
all the other stuff would work. Yeah,
Balloons is a
that will
really good
work.
shout. I like balloons.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it could be? Like, if it was an amusement park, then you can start thinking, okay, what is actually allowing you to make a street? Because now, let's say these are streets. Let's say this is kind of the map of the amusement park. That makes sense. And then the black circle is the entrance. Let me add it to the stream again. And then you're working down. And okay, once you to make the streets, the clubs are lamps, and you need lamps. Of course you do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, if you've got a brightly lit place, some people feel more comfortable. They want to come when it's. and maybe it's lamps and balloons. 2 street lights and a balloon gives you a street.
Yeah, that could work.
Or maybe it's 2 balloons and a street lights. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking all the options at the same time, so that's my problem. I cannot focus on one thing at a time. Yeah, I like it. I like the park idea as well, because not referencing to Amsterdam, but Amsterdam does have a lot of parks, so you can go from one park to another.
Do you mean a nature park? Like not an amusement park, just an old-fashioned park with trees?
Nature park with a nice pond, maybe a fountain, a lot of benches, and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, that would work as well. You could do an amusement park. You could do a zoo, but then it's like, what animals are we applying to the zoo or not?
And there's a lot of uncomfortable conversations about zoos these days. Because
and I get that.
The whole notion of, is this actually a reasonable thing to keep these animals in captivity? I've never heard of Wandel Park, but I assume you know it.
It's the biggest park in Amsterdam.
Okay.
It's the most well-known park, but there are more. The Safati Park and which one is the others? I'm not good at the names of them. When you tell me the name, then I will walk. I can tell you how to walk.
I think weren't you meant to have like some sort of story about Netherlands today for us?
I had to prepare why I live 6 meters below sea level, right?
Yeah, like that is quite a phenomenal thing, and I could just look it up on Wikipedia, but I'm not going to push you for that explanation.
Well, do we have time? Because you wanted to...
yeah, let's leave that for next time.
Yeah, I'll leave it for next time.
I
have something prepared, though, but I can do more research.
Do you feel like you would, within the next week, be able to pick one of these themes and start, in the Discord channels, say, okay, I've decided that this is my theme. And honestly, remember, whatever you pick, you don't need to stick with it. If you go with amusement park, you can explore that and try to make an amusement park, and you're like, I don't really like it so much. I'm going to go with nature park, and then you can try that.
I made a list of all the ideas that we had, and I'm gonna go through them and see whatever I like first, and then see how that goes, and then maybe drop down next to the other one if that isn't such a success.
I mean, the core of the game works, and to apply the theme to it, you're going to potentially have to make some changes for sure.
True.
But hopefully not too many changes. And at this point, what I would suggest is you write down a list, like a spreadsheet. On one side, say, this is what is in the game. These are the hearts. This is okay. What do 2 of this represent? What does that represent? What does 2 of this represent? What does 2 of this plus 1 of the other, drawing a line, what does that represent? And then you might find that you have maybe 13, 15 different actions, things that are going on through the game, and then say, okay, what can I think of an analog for amusement park? What can I think of for an analog for Wonderland tea party? Because I'm fairly sure Alice in Wonderland is out of, someone corrects me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland is public domain, I believe.
Okay, that's what I was trying to say, public domain. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Could you do that? Because, hey, if you make an Alice in Wonderland game, boom, you've got a ready-made audience, as long as it has some sorts of craziness to it. Could you do something like that? Nature park, and think through that list of 15 for a few different things, and I think that would be a good way of maybe nailing down which one would make the most sense. You can also, of course, share this in the Discord, and if anyone is interested, then check out the Discord. DutchYoda has a channel there, and you will see this game probably continue to evolve over the next few weeks.
Yep, definitely.
Moving forwards, yeah, there we go. 1 vote for Alice in Wonderland Tea Party.
Yeah, but there already have been a lot of Tea Party games, so it could work. But with Alice, mostly it's either the Mad Hatter or the Tea Party. Nobody thinks about the evil queen and painting the roses red.
Yeah, maybe you're trying to get the best Queen's Garden. Maybe it's about, okay, this is you painting. I don't know. My favorite part of Alice in Wonderland, true story, is the little shop where, like, 1 egg costs about free. No, wait. 1 egg costs maybe 3, and 2 eggs costs 2. So Alice says, "Oh, why is 2 cheaper?" And the person says, "Oh, but if you buy 2, you definitely have to eat them." So it's like, and that sparks my imagination. I was thinking, so how's that going to work if you buy 2? Is the person just going to force feed them to you? It sounds actually really sinister when you think about it a bit more.
It does. It does.
But yeah, I would be kind of scared of even buying 1 at that point. So I'm not gonna lie.
Well, do you have to eat the 1? And if you get 3, are those for free?
I know it's not a true story, but hey, none of this is true stories. But we still get emotionally engaged by them. We still wonder what's happening in this world. The world still has some believability to it. And for sure, Alice in Wonderland does have a certain consistency to it. I mean, anyway, what? Hello, Matthew. Okay, so it's lovely to see you in the chat. I think we've definitely covered some good ground, and definitely. Unless, is there anything else that you would like to talk about before we start wrapping up?
Well, I was talking about a game I had fun with. We were talking about trivia games before the stream started, and how much you did not really care for them.
I'm not against trivia games. Yeah. All I'm saying is that I really hate trivia games where when you roll a die to land on and then you land on something, and then you answer that question correctly, and then you roll the die again. That is something that I'm against. That is something that I'm against. I am not against trivia games. I want to make that clear. I am a fan of a well-made trivia game where if you do not know the answer, you still have some sort of chance. I like multiple choice trivia games. I really liked the In Order to Win. I thought that was a genius idea, In Order to Win, where it's like, okay, you've got 3 things, put them in order. Because then you feel like, okay, I've got some sorts of chance. It's a good time. And honestly, I'm not against.
I like Wits and Wagers for that.
Wits and Wagers, brilliant game. Color Brain. I'm not a fan of maybe everyone involved, but I think that's a great idea. And Confidence, that's a great idea where you're kind of pushing your luck, being like, well, if I really don't know, I'm going to give a big range. I know how many episodes of Friends were there? Well, I definitely know it's more than 100. I know it's less than 500, so I'm just going to guess between 100 and 500. That's a really good mechanism where you know you're always correct, but it's how confident can you be, and you're playing off everyone else. That is having some sort of interaction. Anyway, sorry. I do not dislike trivia games. I just dislike a certain mechanism in trivia games.
Yeah, and I was responding that I played a game last summer with Dave and Ilka Lusa during, I believe it was Gen Con Online. And it has the roll and move forward thing. So if you're successful, but you can if I'm not mistaken, because it's been a while, you can also steal the option. It's a singing game, so you have to sing the answer. So you land on a certain color, then it must go. It must be in the title, or it must be in a song lyric, or something. Then sometimes it's just it needs to be about cities, or it needs to be about water, and then you have to sing a few verses so you can prove you know it. And then it's about how many songs you can do with that topic. And the other people can say, well, we can do more, and then take the game away from you. And then it's their turn and they can roll. And so it's a little bit of more back and forth like that.
That sounds a wee bit like Geek Outs, which I guess games where you're trying to think of things that match a category. Like, indeed, even Anomia, and it seems trivia adjacent, because if I say, hey, you need to name a president of the USA, that's not a difficult trivia question, but adding that speed element to it, it does kind of have a thing. And is that known as musical bingo? Asks Xate.
No, it's called Encore. It's from 1989. It's a pretty old game. And yeah, sometimes it has to include the word, sometimes it has to be the topic of the song. So yeah, it's sometimes I'm just really stuck on, I know something but I don't know the lyrics that well, and I know this word comes in it but I don't know that sentence. And, well, that makes it fun.
And Rob gives a shout out to times where you're trying to hone in on a date rather than just having to know the answer. And Alex mentions Terra, which is Terra the thing that's also like fauna?
I believe so. Terra is more the planet-based and fauna is more animal.
Yeah, like fauna and Terra use the same system, or am I getting it completely wrong? Okay. But yeah, anyway, so that is our side tangent about quiz games. And I'm going to also give a shout out to Timeline, for example, which is also kind of a quiz game. But
it is.
Now let us answer Matt's question with, this seems like a perfect time for me to bring up the recap wrap-up banner. So
yeah, I was just thinking about it. Nice segue.
How did the design go? And
yeah, the design works. People are playtesting it. I'm getting information from those playtests just a little bit. I don't have much yet. I hope to receive more. And today's episode was mostly focused on thinking about a theme for my game, because it's fairly abstract right now. And we talked about bringing people together for parties. I joked about making a COVID version. We talked about amusement parks, normal parks, robots, aliens, squirrels. A lot went past. So yeah, and now it's my job to think about which team I think would fit best.
And do you have any favorites or any that are grabbing you right now, or are you just going to sit on it?
The people gathering together for a party. That's the one that speaks to me the most right now, because that's the thing I miss the most right now. So
yeah, very.
When it's ready, you contact me, Will. Xate.
Yeah, Xate isn't going to play test this game. I mean, as a BGA community, well, I mean, BGA is not the place for playtesting games.
No, that's Tabletopia and Tabletop Simulator right now.
Well, I don't think this needs to be on Tabletopia or
Tabletop. Definitely not, because it's basically a print and play.
And having this Actually, the interesting thing is, as you get the sheets, and if you maybe give yourself a few days, you say you've got a busy weekend, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
And I don't want to speak for Alex, but if Alex is able to help you and get a whole bunch of these asynchronous things together, that would be a really nice, I think that would be a really nice way to have a website full of asynchronous roll and writes that you can play.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of anonymized scores at the end of it. And it's like, okay, you played that, and some of them are done, some of them are still in the playtesting formats. It could be like a new game every month. It feels
could
like
be.
a possibility. And then if you've got this specific deck and it needs to be this specific deck, then even if you put up a bunch of clicky things to work through it, then you can still always publish it. It's not taking away from the replayability. It's not taking away from the final thing. Do you know what I mean?
True. Yeah. I mean, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, so no current favorites with. I mean, you talked about bringing people together, but then between bringing people together for tea parties, for nature picnics, for amusement parks, do you have?
It can go either way right now.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to remember who mentioned that, because they should get a wee shout out.
We even mentioned a more adult theme, but I'm thinking keeping it family friendly.
So yeah, that is our wrap up. So we talked about new jobs, we talked about fungus and mating.
Out of context, this sounds so wrong.
Being pornographic. We talked about. I'm actually trying to find out. Oh yeah, I think it was actually you who came up with the people theme.
Yeah.
Oh no, what I think it was is I mentioned exploring, and then you mentioned peoples. I think that's how it worked.
So when we started, I said I don't want to be something with people, and we ended up doing a lot with people at the end.
Well, that's the thing.
And I like the idea.
It's not like the bad side of people. It's a lovely thing with people, and I think that's the thing. Like, you said that you wanted to make a lovely game, and I think it's definitely moving to that direction. Like, especially since the victory points, when you multiply, whether it's the amusement park sections with the people, or the nature sections with the people, or whether it's the venues for tea parties with the people, whatever it is, it's all about the happiness. And I think that is a lovely thing. And I think that's a really strong, feel-good vibe to it. So, yeah, that is us. And that's the end of the recap wrap-up. I am stuffedbybez.com, twitter.com/stuffedbez, instagram.com/stuffedbez. I am stuffedbybez on Twitch. On YouTube for the old episodes. On Twitch, I'm streaming every day at 10 a.m. UK time. You can join my Discord by stuffedbybez.com/Discord. And of course, if you want to follow Chris on Twitter, that's twitter.com/ELL_deck. I should have probably put that in as well. And Yoda, where do you most like to be found? If people would...
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DutchYoda Plays. I believe I also have a Facebook page, but that's mostly posting what I post on Instagram anyway right now. And I do have my own stream each Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. So GMT +1. On Saturday I do Dutch streams. On Sunday I do English streams. And this evening I will play Stop Thief from Restoration Games, and people can help me because I'm playing the co-op version. Oh yeah, and I write for Budget Spelen. Don't forget that.
Yep. Those are
I
all the
don't
links you
write
can
anymore.
find in
I
Title.
record. I have to record. That's why I have a busy weekend. I have to record some videos for Budget Spelen this weekend about the third version of Clever.
Oh, I am totally unfamiliar with that. I will look
Yeah, it's
forward to
just been
checking that
released,
out.
I believe. So that's the third version.
Well, that is slightly early, the end of the show. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been chatting along. Thank you to everyone who's been lurking along. And you too, thank you for joining us. And yeah, as Rob mentions, it is people, but it's not building a city or trading in the Mediterranean or warfare. Armadillo. Yeah. You can. I do have a new banana command, by the way, because it was suggested. So if someone wants to do ! banana, but I also have a channel points thing where if you want me to add anything new, then I can do it for enough channel points. Anyway, this is the final section. As always, you know what's coming. Over to you. What are you up to? You can share anything you want to. Whether it's exciting or trivial or boring or serious or it's completely fun and frivolous. What are you doing today? What are you up to? What are you looking forward to? I am going to do a quick bit of art. I have less time than I would like. I'm going to do a bit of eating because I've not eaten yet today. I am going to be recording an announcements video because there's a thing in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to do a video all about announcements. That it's not going to be live, but it's going to be me, Chris, Miles, who's doing the thing for Couple. Also, we are announcing a thing. I'm so tempted to just say what it is because I think I might have already accidentally said, but you know what? Officially, that will be the announcement. So I'll stop saying it, even if I've already said it before. But this year, there's not going to be one competition for the L deck, but there's going to be 2 competitions for the L deck. Have I already told everyone about that? I don't know if I have.
No, you have.
But anyway, if you want to know what the other competition is going to be, well, you will find out in a wee bit. It's probably quite simple to work out if you think about it. Anyway, I will talk about that, and then I'm going to go to someone's birthday party, obviously online, but that's going to be in the evening, just popping in and saying to them happy birthday. And so what is everyone else up to? Yoda, what are you up to?
Well, in a couple of minutes, half hour, I believe, I'm gonna bring my son back to his mother. Then I'm gonna prepare for my stream tonight. So everybody who understands Dutch is welcome to join us. Or no, not Dutch, Nederlands. Netherlandish.
I like this. Yeah, reclaim that word. Let's put more Netherlands in the adjectives. You are a proud Netherlander.
I am.
And Doric says that's just enough bananas. There we go, just enough. Xate has to film a thing that Xate doesn't want to film because Xate doesn't feel great, but
I have to film the same thing.
Frank is spending the day thinking about what Frank would like to do for April Fool's Day this year.
Good one. I have no plans yet. I'm thinking about telling my boss that the internet is out. That cannot work.
Yeah, planning is key for this. Newgrounds.com, they had the best April Fool's jokes every year. Newgrounds.com was pretty good at that. You're going to sleep. I hope you have a lovely sleep at very early. Baking, cooking a lot today. Just made a couple of loaves of bread, brownies, and soup this afternoon. That sounds amazing.
Soup.
Going to print some maps for tonight's D&D. Oh, excellent.
I never played D&D. I haven't found a group I can. I never played
Well,
D&D.
now it's online. You could totally find a group because you've got access to everyone in the world. No one is playing in person. So if you've never played D&D before and you want, then do it. And Sate says, "Hey Yoda, are you going to send your boss a message over the internet to say the internet is down?"
No, I'm using my phone. I'll call them up. It's an analog thing. You punch buttons and then you hear a little bit of buzz, and then sometimes some person talks back at you.
A vegan chocolate cake. That sounds amazing. Second ever game. I hope you enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
There's bound to be a lot of April Fool's jokes this year related to vaccines and lockdown. Yeah, I really hope there aren't. That would be... Yeah, please. Yeah, I'm fairly certain Frank will do better than that. That would... Look, I like what Jamie Stegmaier does, where Jamie Stegmaier says, hey, here's a joke product, and I'm actually going to make it. And it's like, okay, it's a limited run, but...
I liked what Rodney did last year. He promised to finally do Star Wars Rebellion, and he just read the rulebook. And he made a video about Monopoly.
Yes, I really, really loved Monopoly videos last year.
Yeah.
I didn't want to finish and said nobody clipped that, and just I really, really loved Monopoly. But I really, really loved who was it? Quackalope and Rodney Smith. So Rodney Smith did a really good "This is how you play Monopoly" video. That was a really good, solid video. It didn't tell me, and I watched it. It didn't tell me anything that I didn't already know, and I was like, okay, yeah, that is the rules that I always played by as a child.
Everybody should play by. Don't house rule Monopoly.
No, I'm going to disagree. I think that should play by suggests that everyone should play Monopoly in the first place, which I'm going to disagree with. Anyway.
No.
So anyway, Quackalope did a video actually reviewing all the different Monopolies, which was really cool. And yeah, I just really loved what they did. Kind of make the joke, but it's also a serious thing. Do you know what I mean? There's also value. Whereas you can go the other side with Newgrounds when it's like, hey, we are censoring so much of this because we are pretending that you're all in China and there's a great big firewall. And so they censored anything that might be censored in China. So basically for the entire day, practically everything on Newgrounds was censored. And it's kind of, I love the fact that Tom Fulp has this great big sonking website and still does a terrible business decision for whimsy. And yeah, a few years ago, I did a fake miniatures announcement for a game and handmade them very badly out of clay. Yet enough people thought they were real that I've learned to be a bit more careful moving forwards. I seem to recall. Do you think that's what ISTR means?
I think so.
I seem to recall Jeff Kornberg did a proper how to play of something as an April Fool's joke. And Xates has, clipped me apparently.
Yeah. It's out there. It's truth now.
Okay, so and Among Us comic where the characters are having a board game meeting about what to play. One guy says, "How about Monopoly?" Next scene, you see him ejected into space.
So sus.
Well, that is still more than 2 weeks away. I wonder what I'm doing on this show. I've not even thought about it. So, okay, I know who I'm having on the show. Okay, I think, I'm going to chat to people and make something interesting happen. Because...
Nice summary.
That will spread the word. If you've enjoyed this stream, if you want to find out my next streams, then tomorrow I am reviewing my City, which I did get sent for free, but I am not, that does not buy a good review. I don't think, if you want me to give you a good review of a game that I don't like, then £1 million would probably buy that. I'm not going to lie. Everyone's got to price, so I'm not going to say it's good marketing, but if you really want, Yeah.
You go bankrupt, but I will give you a positive review.
I do actually like the game for what it's worth, but anyway.
Yeah, I do.
I will be reviewing my City tomorrow. I will be meeting Sif and Luke on Monday. I will be drawing some things on Tuesday, drawing some catty things, and then playing a fact and a half on Tuesday evening. If you want to join me for the playing, even if you want to join me on video, you are more than welcome. Just let me know. That is at 8 p.m. UK time. Wednesday, I'm meeting Theo Riviere. Check the Thursday is Peter Blenkarn, and that's Dina Ramsey. Friday is some people who are finalists for the Cardboard Edison Award, and anyone else who wants to join. Fridays, everyone is welcome to join in. But yeah, that is everything. Okay. I mean, now you've said it. Now it feels like you need to whisper me these ideas. If you're saying them publicly, then it's not as funny. Well, I don't know what you think, but anyway, share, spread the word. Who else is on?
Blind people won't even see the difference.
So you see that again?
Well, colorblind
What
people? Colorblind.
Oh.
Because some don't see the difference between green and red. So if you would do that, they probably wouldn't even notice.
That is possibly true. So we've actually got a board games person going on, Time Ruler.
Time Ruler, is he still on?
Yeah.
He was on at 8 a.m. How long has he been streaming?
4 hours and 28 minutes.
Oh,
so,
yeah, like I said, 8 a.m.
Let me, where's my channel? I'm going to do the things, if only, wait, can't you, raid, Time Ruler, and you'll have to wear stripes then, that'll fix it for colorblind people. That's a good shout, Frank. So, any final words?
I have nothing.
Okay, well then. Lots of love. And for now, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. And bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Thank you for reminding me to change it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye for now means that you can see this as a result of the game. Bye-bye.